Hey there, everybody. I am Debbie Crowley from ExpressivelyDeb.com, and welcome. Okay, it's February and the end of the month, and it's time to put together the cards from my February customer card kit. All of the kits are out in the mail. Have gone out in the mail. You should all have them by now. And let's get started. I used 2 stamp sets. And one of them is the bundle that I used. One is the linked together bundle. That is in the that is in the January to April mini catalog. And I use that for the sentiment and the diamond die cut sentiment layer on the first card. And then the other stamp set that I used was the Friends for Life. The Friends for Life is actually in the current annual catalog, and I used the sentiment from that stamp set. I will have these linked below, so if you're interested in getting them, you can just click the link, and you'll get all the details on the products, and you'll be able to go ahead and create these projects. As always, I design the cards so that if you do not have these specific products on hand, you can substitute with your own products. I just want to get the name of the designer series paper because I forgot it. Okay, it is the Refreshed Beauty designer series paper. This was a remake of a designer series paper pattern that we had a few years ago. So let's get started. The designer series paper will also be linked in the description box below. We'll get started, and we're going to start with the Lemon Lime Twist card first. That is the quicker one, so we'll go ahead and do that one. And I do have all of the parts and pieces, or I did have all of the parts and pieces, and I don't know where they went. Hold on just a sec. So I started with a Lemon Lime Twist card base. The card base is cut 5.5 inches across, 8.5 inches in length, scored at 4.25 inches. And this is a horizontal top fold card. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and burnish this because I don't think I did. And that is the card base. And in your kit, you have 2 pieces of very vanilla cardstock. One of them is for the writing layer on the inside of the card, and the other one is for the matte layer on the card front. The smaller piece, if you put the 2 of them together like this, the smaller piece is the writing layer. So that goes on the inside of your card, and then the larger piece will be on the outside. The measurements on this are 4 1/8 across, 5 3/8 in length. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the pattern paper layer to the matte layer. The pattern paper layer is 4 inches across, 5 1/4 inches in length. Okay, and we'll get that going. You have all of the dimensions in the PDF tutorial that was sent to you along with the card pieces. And my glue isn't working. Okay, so we're going to get this pattern paper layer onto the base, the Very Vanilla. There we go. Just want to make sure it's straight. And then this goes on to the front of the card front. There we go. Now what I did was I went ahead and stamped the sentiment onto the die cut diamond shape that you have, the very vanilla. Now I put the stamp, when I stamped the sentiment, I just went slightly above, right about maybe even or slightly above the horizontal point of the diamond. So there's the placement for your sentiment. And then we have in your card kit, you have a die cut, and it is the lemon lime twist. These are all die cuts from the linked together stamps. I'm sorry. Linked together dies. Okay, so this, we're just going to put a little bit of glue on the back of this. I'm going to lightly brush the glue onto the back of it. And then I'm going to place it onto the, how did I have this? You know, when I do it, I forget how I did it. Okay, like this. So we're going to place it onto the sentiment layer like this. Just so that it kind of sets across the bottom. Okay. And then we have some flowers. I have one large, what is it? Flirty Flamingo flower. That I'm just going to do the same thing with just brush a little glue along the back. And I have that kind of in the center. And then the peach pie, which I like this color combination, and I got it from the designer series paper, actually. It's a nice color combination. And then, and do, you know, just as you, how you feel comfortable placing the flowers is fine. It's going to be beautiful. And that will just go on the back of it. The glue, and then this. And that's it. So now the sentiment layer goes on to the card front with dimensionals. In your kit, you do have dimensionals for the sentiment layer. I sent you enough of them. I think I used 5 on this. But I like putting the dimensionals on it. It's just a little, gives it a little dimension, gives the card front a little interest. Although the pattern paper and the die cuts really do the job here. Okay. And then we just center this sentiment layer on the center of the card front. Kind of got a little messy with the glue there. Okay. But that's where your little glue eraser comes in. I can't clean it yet, but I will. I want to let the glue dry, and then it cleans nicely. So, and this you can get on Amazon, the glue eraser, which mine needs a little bit of cleaning, but I cut mine in half and I used the pieces of it, but it works nicely. Okay, so that is the front for you. And then we have, I used rhinestones on the front, and you have them in your card kit. Okay. The 3 rhinestones in the center of the flowers, and that's it. So, of course, you have your writing layer, and you also have the strip that I cut for you, the 1/4 inch strip. And I cut the strip 1/4 inch by 6 inches. So this, just put a small line of glue across the bottom. And then attach the strip. And then, as you know, it's always a little longer. So what I do is trim from the back. And you get a nice even trim. And then just attach it. Center it, and that's it. So your first card is finished. Okay. So now this is the bookmark card. So it's a card that has a bookmark in it that can be a little gift. And it just sits in the front like that. And I thought it would be a cute little thank you or birthday. So we're going to go ahead and get that done. Okay, and that one is Flirty Flamingo. So I have the clean my space here. Flirty Flamingo card base. It is 4 1/4 across, 11 inches in length, scored at 5 1/2 inches. And then, of course, you burnish. All of this comes in the kit like this. Now, normally, I would go ahead and put this on. When I assembled my card, I put the layers directly onto the card base. I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to do the layers separately, and then we're going to attach the entire card, all of the layers to the card front. You'll see why. It's when we put this triangle on, it's a little bit easier if you do it off of the card front. I'm sorry, the card base. So we'll go ahead and do that, and I'll just set the card base aside for a minute. Okay, same as the first card. You have two pieces of Very Vanilla cardstock in your kit. One is smaller than the other. The smaller piece is the writing layer. So the writing layer is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches in length. And then the card front matte layer is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Okay, we did eighth of an inch layers. You have a piece of pattern paper in your kit, which is directional. So these flowers go up. So make sure when you're putting them on, the direction is going up. Okay, this piece is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And there we go. We're going to get some glue on this. Okay. So there you have it. That's the first thing that you do. The second thing you do is that we're going to work on is this little piece in the front. This is the holder. This is going to create this little triangle along with the sentiment layer is going to create the pocket because the sentiment layer is attached here and there's glue on the back of the this side, the side with all of the elements on it. So this portion in the center has no glue, so it gives a little stronger base pocket to hold the bookmark. Okay, so that we'll do that first. And I already stamped it. I stamped mine with happy birthday because I did need some birthday cards. So here's the layer, and I think you have 2 of them in your card kit, and then I gave you an extra piece of Very Vanilla cardstock that you can, just in case you wanted to change it up a little bit. But you do have that in your card kit. So we're going to go ahead and get the glue on that. Okay, and attach the Very Vanilla sentiment layer to the cardstock layer that you have, the Flirty Flamingo. Okay, and I forget the dimensions of these, but you have them. And this is the cardstock layer is 1 3/8 of an inch, I believe, yes ma'am, by 4 inches, and the that's the Flirty Flamingo cardstock, 1 3/8 of an inch by 4 inches in width, and then the Very Vanilla Sentiment layer is 1 1/4 inches by 3 7/8 of an inch. Okay, so we've got that done. So we're getting our parts and pieces together here. Now we're going to work on the triangle. In your kit, I cut the triangles. I didn't do it here so that you can see how I did it. For purposes of the video, my kit had rectangles in it, just designer series paper and pattern and cardstock. So we have a Very Vanilla piece of cardstock that measures 3 1/8 by 4 7/8. So I'm sorry, yeah, 4 7/8. So 3 1/8 of an inch across, 4 7/8 of an inch in length. Okay, we have that one. Now we have the designer series paper layer that measures 3 inches across, 4 3/4 in length. So again, we have 1/8 of an inch layer. So if I were to put these together and layer these two, you see there's the pattern paper is 1/8 of an inch shorter. So all I'm going to do is, with my paper trimmer, I'm going to cut both pieces on the diagonal. And you're going to see, since the bottom piece is larger than the top, it's already cut for the layer. The triangle layer is just going to be there for you. So I'll show you how I did that. I hope I'm making sense when I'm explaining this to you. So this piece we're going to cut from corner to corner. Make sure the corner of the Very Vanilla cardstock, each corner, the top left, bottom right, we're cutting it on the diagonal, is in the cutting track of the paper trimmer. We're going to give it a slice. And there we have it. So you can actually make 2 cards, 2 for the price of 1 here. So there's one layer, and then we're going to do the same thing with the pattern paper layer. Put it into the paper trimmer, make sure the corners are right in the cutting track, and you can see that pretty easily. Just be sure before you cut that it's right in there. Give it a slice, and you'll see that this pattern paper layer fits just as it should onto the cardstock layer, see? And that gives us our little pocket with the layers. And that works for anything, 1/4 inch layers, 1/8 of an inch layers. Even if you're doing a regular diagonal, a larger diagonal card, however you cut your layers, as long as your corners are matched, one layer is shorter, whatever your dimensions might be, as long as they match and they fit into the cutting tracks of your paper trimmer, or you're cutting on an exact diagonal, you will have a nice fit. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to get this up a little bit. And there you have it. So now this layer is going to go onto the corner of the pattern paper larger layer that we did first. So I'll show you how that. We're going to put glue on the L, only on the, I wrote the dimensions on the, only on the L, here and here. So across the side and across, not on the side of the diagonal. That's going to be open because that's going to create the pocket for the bookmark. Okay. Just put a thin line of glue on the back, on the bottom, and up the side, the long side. And then that's going to set onto the card front. And this is the reason, see here, it's easier to get it into place where it's supposed to be if this actual layer is off of the card front. When I put mine together, I was putting everything right on the card front. And, you know, it was a little, it was harder to get this piece on straight. Okay, and then we're going to take our sentiment layer and we're putting it across the front of the card so that the side, each side matches up to the designer series, the edges of the designer series paper. Okay, so we're going to only put glue on the back of the left side of this. So if you put your finger there and turn it around, that's where the glue is going to go. And then we're going to put a little line of glue along the right edge. So we'll get that done now. Okay, so you can see my glue there along the right edge. And then I'm working with different glue. So I'm kind of not used to holding I ran out of my green glue. Okay. And then we're going to just attach this so that the edges match the edges of the designer series paper on the card front. Just got to lift this to make sure it's okay. There we go. And I think it's straight, looks straight. I would say about 3/4 of an inch up from the bottom. So now this piece, you have your bookmark. And this was, I think it was the Lovely Labels Tag Topper Punch. I think it might be available in the Last Chance. I can't guarantee that. I really don't recall. I'm trying to remember if I can visualize it now, but I don't remember. But this is a punch that I had, and you actually can cut the paper, slide it in, and create a tag, or in this case, a little bookmark, or tag if you want it to be. So I cut this 5 inches by 2 inches. The 2 inches fits into the punch perfectly. And then this piece is 1 7/8 inches by 4 1/4 inches. And this is part of the designer series paper. So we'll attach this piece to the bookmark. Okay, and then we have, now I did cut piece of twine. This is the thick baker's twine, and I cut it about 6 inches, 6/12, about 12 inches, okay? I had this in my stash a while back. Stampin' Up! Had this. And then what we're going to do is put the baker's twine. Oh, it's the glue. Just wanted to smooth it out a little bit. Okay, there we go. As I say, I'm working with different glue, so I'm not sure it has its own style. Okay, so just fold the twine in half and put it through the front of the punched hole in the top, and then bring it through. Oh, I didn't have that even. Hold on. Make sure it's even. So make sure it's even. Okay. And then just push it through the front. Go in from the front. And then bring it through. And then create a little loop. Bring it through. And there is your little bookmark. Okay. And that will fit right in the front pocket. Okay. Okay, so here's the bookmark. So now all of this goes right onto the card front. And nice and easy for you. Center it, as we always do. Okay, and then your bookmark will set in there, in the little pocket. Now you see why we only put the glue here and here? This, if we left this where it wasn't glued on this side, it would kind of hang out there, but this wouldn't be, it gives this a little more stability, the pocket a little more stability to hold the bookmark in place. Or you could do a couple little tags and put them in here. It's very, or a gift card. It's very cute. This alone, maybe as a card front. Now this just came into my head as a card front. Just do a single layer card front, and you can make this a gift card holder. Maybe do a writing layer on the back. So, and then you have your writing layer and the strip for the inside, which I won't put on now. We won't take the time to do it because we still have to decorate this, but you know how to do that. So I will use, okay, so on this, we have a similar die cuts. Where are my, here we go. Okay, so we have the strip, this longer piece of, I think I cut yours. Let me see if in this pouch I have it. No, that's Old Olive. This is Lemon Lime Twist. So I think I cut yours, and I'm going to cut it right in here. Okay, so on this particular card design, I like the way two shorter pieces looked rather than the one larger piece. So we'll just get these on. And really, you could put them on any way you want. I'm not following what I did. I had the flirty flamingo up at the top, but I'm doing it a little different because I put the lemon lime twist leaves on this a little differently. And then we have two of the peach pie flowers that you could put on. So it's a little different from my other one, but you can scatter them in whichever way feels comfortable for you. And then you also have the rhinestones. Where are my rhinestones? Okay, here we go. And we can get a couple of them on. I did the same thing with these rhinestones. I put them in the center of the flowers. These are the adhesive backed shiny sequins. Okay, and I think I used and now I'm not sure if they're peach pie, but they're like an orange, light orange, and I thought they were pretty. They'd be pretty on this. And maybe just scatter two, a medium and a large. And then you have the little rhinestone down there. And that's it. We are finished for this month's card kit. As always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. All of the supplies will be linked that I used. You have them in the PDF tutorial. If you open up the PDF tutorial on your device, you can just click on the product and you'll get directly to the link to the product details in the website, in my website. here everything will be on YouTube. Everything will be listed in the description box below, and you can click the links and you'll go directly to each supply and you could get the details. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you put together lots of fun cards. Quick and easy, a little more detailed, but fun. And I wish you a great rest of day. Remember to always express your creativity, and the only limitation is your imagination. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you again soon.